Good morning and welcome back to the Dorado Library Story Times. We are very excited to be here with you for the first story time of the year 2021. We hope everybody had a wonderful break and we are excited to get ready to start our new story times for the year. My name is Miss Brittany and this is my daughter Lily Rose and my daughter Gracelyn. And we always start by taking in our hand and saying hello to our friends. Can you do it with us?
My hand says hello. My hand says hello. Every time I see my friends, my hand says hello.
Wonderful. Can you sing it together with us one more time?
My hand says hello. My hand says hello. Every time I see my friends, my hand says hello.
Very nice. And we also like to sing our song together in Spanish. Can you sing with us?
Mi mano dice hola. Mi mano dice hola. Cada vez que veo mis amigos, mi mano dice hola.
Same thing, one more time.
Mi mano dice hola. Mi mano dice hola. Cada vez que veo mis amigos, mi mano dice hola.
Well, today I have a fun story for you, and it is called The Mitten. And before we read our story about the mitten, we're going to talk really quick. There are things that you wear on your hands if you live in a place where it's kind of cold that are called mittens. Mittens are something that you put on and it has a spot for your thumb and a spot for your fingers that are all together. And then there's something called a glove. A glove is something you put on your hand and it has a spot for all 5 fingers. So we're going to play a quick game called Mitten Glove and see if you can do it with us. So first let's practice. What is a mitten look like on your hand? Remember? Thumb and fingers all together. Good job. Now, what does a mitten look like? Ready? Okay, now, what does a glove look like? That's when all your fingers are spread apart, and if you were to put it on, you would put one finger in each of the holes to make a glove. Now, we're going to play a game called mitten or glove, and you're going to use your hand just like that, and when I say one, you're going to make your hand look like a mitten or a glove. Okay, can you join us at home? Here we go, this fun game, mitten or glove. And when you do it, then you can say it, what it is. Okay, ready? Can you please make a mitten? Mitten.
Mitten.
Can you please make a glove?
Glove.
Glove. Okay, now I'm going to go faster. You ready? Mitten. Mitten. Glove. 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 Mitten. Glove. Mitten. Glove. Very nice job. And you can play that game later on too at your house if you would like. And that's all for this fun story about a mitten. This is a really fun book about a mitten, and it gets dropped in the snow outside, and some animals find it, and they decide to climb inside and make it their home. So let's see what happens in our story, The Mitten by Jan Brett.
Wait, what?
Let's get to see it. See all those animals? See if we can find them in our story. Okay. Once there was a little boy named Nicky, and he wanted mittens as white as the snow. Do you think that's a good idea?
No.
To have mittens the same color as snow?
No.
If you drop a white mitten in the snow, it will be very hard to find, his grandmother told him. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens so much that Baba made them for him. Okay. Baba is the name for his grandma. When she finished knitting, Nicky put on the mittens and went out to play. But it wasn't long before one mitten fell off. You can see it here in the snow.
You can see it.
Well, a little mole found it and crawled inside of the mitten. It was just the right size, so he decided to stay. And then this book is kind of fun because it gives us a hint of what kind of an animal is coming next, so you can make a guess at home.
Minnie. Bunny.
Bunny. A rabbit came hopping along, and it wiggled in next to the mole. See him going in there? And then there's going to be another animal next.
A porcupine?
A hedgehog wanted to get warm. The mole and the rabbit made room for him. He's called a hedgehog. Oh, are you guessing what's next? Think it might be a porcupine?
Owl.
An owl.
Owl.
The owl did not want to be left out. So the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog had to move over. The mitten was getting a little crowded. See that, how it's getting bigger and bigger so all the animals could fit? Do you think that owl can fit in there?
No.
It's pretty big compared to that mitten.
No.
Oh my goodness. Well, a badger looked out of his house. He already had a house, but he looked out and he saw the mitten. Gus, can you move your heads back so the friends can see?
Yeah.
So he also climbed in. Oh my goodness, look at how big that mitten is. What do you think is going to try to climb in next?
Next is a fox or wolf.
It started to snow, so a fox pushed his way into the mitten and made himself right at home. Does anybody know?
Bear.
Bear is next. Oh my goodness, that won't, no, it can't fit a bear, it's a mitten. Then a big bear sniffed at the mitten. The animals were packed in so tight, but the bear, he didn't care. He crawled in anyways, and the mitten was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Look at it, it's so big it barely fits on our
Next
page.
is a mouse.
A mouse? I think there's going to be room for a
That's
mouse.
a bunny.
Or a bunny. Let's see. Then a tiny mouse squeezed in and perched herself right on the bear's nose. See them all in there? Look at the mitten was so big it doesn't even fit on this storybook page anymore. Let's see what happens. The mouse's whiskers tickled the bear's nose and achoo! The bear sneezed and all the animals flew out of that mitten.
The mitten is probably too big for the
Nikki
little
saw the mitten and sailed up into the air. Do you see it? How it's up in the sky like that?
Yeah.
Probably because of the big achoo. And from the window, Baba watched Nikki catch his mitten. See, Baba, he called to her, I have both of my mittens. And Baba smiled. But let's see what Baba thinks. She's holding on to those mittens. Can you see them? She has the mitten that she knitted and the mitten that all the animals climbed into. Are they the same or are they different?
Different.
They got a little bit different, didn't they? Well, today I have a game or a project for you and then a craft. So if you want to at your houses, you can pretend like you can play the mitten game like they played in this story. So I have a plain white sock. I don't have a mitten at my house because it's really warm here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use a sock instead. And so I am going to make a guess in my brain, a thought of how many of these big Duplos I can fit inside of my mitten.
Probably not too much.
So I'm going to guess 3. Okay? So now I'm going to take it. I'm going to put it inside. 1, 2, 3. Well, 3 fit in okay. Lily Rose, do you have a bigger guess than 3? Do you think we can put more in here? What is your guess? 6. Okay, we already have 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's see here.
4.
We're going to stretch it out like in our story. 5. 6. I don't know. It's getting pretty big and pretty stretched out. Great.
7.
You think we can fit one more in here? Okay, I'm going to
No,
push it down.
7.
Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We think we can
Two
get
more.
2 more. Okay, let's do 2 more. 6, 7. Oh, if I stretch it really hard. Let's see. And 8.
Mom,
I
I know how to
just
make
like in
8
this
go
story.
in.
Okay, so if you want to do something
I
like that
can
at
do
your
8
house,
in it.
you can try the same thing and see how many of something. It could be Legos,
That
it could be
can go like
Duplos,
that.
it could be color crayons, it could be princesses or cars. You can see how many you can stretch into a sock before yours blows just like it did in our story.
Or a water bottle.
Today, I have a project for you. And for this project, you're going to need a piece of colored paper. And then you're going to need something to trace with, a scissors to cut. You also, if you can make it with a piece of yarn that we're gonna need. And then at our house we have a hole puncher. If you don't have a hole puncher, you can always have an adult put little holes with a knife, okay? And then a couple pieces of tape. So what you're gonna do is, you're gonna start with a piece of paper and you're gonna fold it in half. And after you fold it in half, you're gonna make your hand like a mitten. And you're gonna trace around the mitten on your piece of paper.
I'll trace it for you.
And when you're done, you're gonna cut it out. Once you've cut it, you will have a mitten. Then, remember, mitten has one thumb and all your fingers together, your mitten. Then at our house we had a hole puncher, so I went around the edges and I made holes. I did my best to get them inside because I'm gonna do something called lacing today. So after I trace my hand for my mitten and then I cut it out, I make my holes, then you can tape a piece of string. And you can, the easiest thing for me is to put a little piece of tape on the end so that the string or the yarn or whatever it is you're going to use doesn't get all yucky at the end. It's easier to push through the holes. And you're going to take it and you're going to go in and out of the holes along your mitten. And in and out. And you're going to lace your mitten closed because you don't want a mitten that looks like this. This won't help. That's not a mitten if it goes open like this. So we're gonna close it, we're gonna lace it up. Now you can either lace it like this, or you can lace it this way.
Back and forth.
You go back and forth, so you go in, and then back, out the back. And then in the back.
In, out.
And back up through the front. So it kind of depends on how you want your mitten to look, would be how you'd lace it. You can lace it around the sides like
You could even
this.
do a pattern.
Or you can lace it out like this, whatever you wanna do. You're gonna lace your mitten all the way closed. It's a little tricky when you get to that point of the mitten because there's not much there. And you push it through. And then, yep, you can do a pattern. You could do an A, B, and do different ways around your mitten. It's up to you.
You could do the same.
Then when you're done, you can cut your string, tape it to the back, and you have a laced mitten project. You can color it, decorate it, make it however you want. It is up to you because remember, it's your projects to do at your house. Well, thank you so much for joining us today as we read the story, The Mitten by Jan Brett. We hope you have a wonderful week and we'll see you later for another story time. Goodbye.
Bye. Adios, amigos.